Dr. Qadri, thank you very much indeed. I think all of us here will be very grateful to you for your very clear exposition and your very strong views about suicide bombing and terrorism.
Thank you.
And that is very, very important. But we have a problem in this country with those whose view of Islam, while they themselves speak strongly against terrorism and suicide bombing, have a view of Islam and an approach to Islam that is fundamentalist, narrow, extremist, and very militant. And the outworkings of that Islam is very antisocial and hostile. We think of those, for instance, that come with Wahhabi backgrounds, those with Deobandi background, and so on. And there are major mosques in this country. I'd name, for instance, one, the East London Mosque, where this sort of Islam is very rife. They will speak strongly against suicide bombings and terrorism, but nonetheless they will propagate a very antisocial form of Islam. Do you have anything to add to or say about that form from your own perspective?
Thank you very much for this question. I would just like to say that I am not very well aware of the local institutions of England, various mosques and various people and sects who they are working in which way. I have given the whole verdict in its general, comprehensive and universal form. It can be applicable anywhere. I won't prefer to speak in a specific terms of institutions and mosques and various sects. The Islamic stance is very clear. Anybody who promotes this stance of Islam, his viewpoint is Islamic. Any person, may he belong to any sect or any mosque or any center or institution, I don't know, who promotes the militant and violent and extremistic viewpoint about Islam, please keep in your mind, he is not promoting and he is not presenting Islam. This is his own extremistic and terroristic agenda. Please don't bracket terrorism with Islam. Now the case of Islam is very clear. I will have a very sympathetic appeal and a request that if you please detach the word Islamic or Islam from terrorism, it will help in eliminating or demoralizing the terrorist people, because the terrorists are neither Islamic nor Jewish nor Christian. Terrorists have no religion. Unfortunately, they were born in Muslim families, but they have been misguided and detracked. So terrorism should remain terrorism and condemn. You say that Islam condemns terrorism. Islam discusses, says that terrorism is an act of kufr. It is outside the ambit of Islam. It is totally condemnable act. And if you totally disconnect the word Islam or Islamic from the terrorism and then condemn, I hope overwhelming majority of the Muslim Ummah would join their voices with your voice, as I have stated. So there is no Islamic terrorism. There is no Muslim terrorist. Whoever is terrorist, he is a non-Muslim. Whoever commits act of terrorism, he is committing an un-Islamic act, no link with Islam. So those who promote this kind of view, they may have their own political agenda. They have been instigated, they have been prepared for that particular purpose. You have to deal these kind of people in a different way. But I would say it is clear according to Quran and Sunnah, these kind of people having this terroristic or militant agenda has no link with Islamic teaching.
Thank you. My name is Dominic Kashani. I'm from the BBC. Can I ask about a specific situation? There are some scholars who say that the situation between Israel and the Palestinians is an exceptional one, and that the rules you talk about not necessarily apply. Can you tell me what you would say to a young Palestinian who believes that the only course of action he has open to him is to turn to the suicide bomb?
Thank you very much. I would like to say all of my brothers in Islam and my sons, because of age, whether they belong to Palestine, they belong to Pakistan, they belong to Somalia, they belong to any part of Islamic world. Terrorism is terrorism. We have to create a difference between warfare and terrorism. Terrorism means to kill civilians those who are not directly fighting against you in a battlefield. When there is a matter of clear-cut warfare, so everybody kills one another. Everybody has a right in the warfare. But killing the people, maybe in the pretext of avenge, whom you consider the certain government or certain people or certain power has committed any cruelty or aggression or any occupation, so you are avenging. And what you are doing through the act of terrorism or suicide bombing, when you commit suicide bombing, the children, they are being killed. The women are being killed. Maybe the Jewish people are doing the same, or the Muslim Palestinian are doing. Either the Pakistani people are doing, or any other people belonging to any community, irrespective. No, when you are doing suicide bombing, so see, Holy Prophet said, even during warfare, in the battlefield, when you are fighting with your enemy, you can't kill. This is a categorical declaration by Holy Prophet and all four orthodox caliphs, Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman and Ali. You cannot kill, even in the battlefield, the women. You can't kill children. You can't kill old men. You can't kill the priests. You can't kill the people of church. You can't kill the traders. You can't kill the farmers. You can't kill the diplomats. You can't hold them custody. You can't kill the ambassadors. You can't burn the trees. You can't destruct the population. You can't kill the human beings. Those who are non-combatant, not fighting with you, they are busy in their trade, sitting in their houses, they are sleeping. They are going in the train and bus in London in 7/7. Or they are working in the Twin Towers in their offices and 9/11. They are busy, they are working in their embassies. So these are people, when you commit suicide bombings, so all these suicide, who are the targets? Targets are the human beings. So irrespective of anything, unexceptionally act of terrorism is terrorism. It cannot be allowed in any pretext.
Thank you very much for your speech and your fatwa. I agree totally with you about Khawarij opinion, and the Khawarij of today are more extreme than the Khawarij of yesterday. But I'm a little bit puzzled of the fatwa of making the terrorist kafir. Because when we talk about Hadd al-Harba, it's very clear in the Holy Quran that you cut their hands and legs from behind and you throw them outside the city. Also, I'm a little bit puzzled of the non-dialogue system. While the fifth Caliph, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, sat down, the